Hello everyone, I'm making a different version of the video. Let me know in the comments if you liked it.
In the ancient hills of Ramathaim, where the sun rose gently over the rugged landscape, life moved with a quiet rhythm shaped by tradition and hope. Among these hills, a woman named Hannah carried a silent sorrow. She was unable to have children, a burden that weighed heavily on her heart each day. Though her husband Elkanah loved her deeply and tried to show her kindness, his affection could not fill the emptiness she felt inside, nor could it ease the ache of her longing. Elkanah's other wife, Peninnah, had many children, and their laughter echoed through the home, a constant reminder of what Hannah lacked. Peninnah used this blessing to taunt Hannah, her words sharp and unkind, deepening Hannah's pain and making her feel even more alone. Each year during the family's pilgrimage to Shiloh, Hannah's grief grew heavier, the journey itself becoming a symbol of her unfulfilled dreams. As Peninnah's cruelty became more pointed, Hannah's spirit seemed to shrink, her pain visible in every glance and gesture. Surrounded by laughter and families, Hannah felt invisible, her heart aching for a child of her own, her dreams slipping further away with each passing year. Elkanah tried to comfort her, offering gentle words and extra portions at the feast, but his efforts could not reach the depths of her longing or heal the wounds left by Peninnah's taunts. The journey to Shiloh became a ritual of pain, a yearly reminder of what she lacked, and of the prayers that seemed to go unanswered. In her desperation, Hannah decided to take her sorrow to the only place she had left, before God, pouring out her heart in silent, fervent prayer. Her story was about to change, not through grand gestures or public miracles, but through a quiet act of faith and a whispered hope that would echo through generations. One year, Hannah's pain overflowed. For so long she had carried the weight of her sorrow in silence, feeling isolated and misunderstood by those around her. She slipped away from the feast, unnoticed by the others, and entered the tabernacle, her heart breaking with every step. The noise of celebration faded behind her, replaced by the quiet hush of the sacred space. Kneeling in silence, she poured out her soul to God, tears streaming down her face as she prayed. In her desperation she made a vow. "Lord, if you give me a son, I will give him to you for all his life." Her words were a whisper, but her longing was fierce. Eli, the high priest, saw her lips move but heard no words. He watched her from a distance, puzzled by her silent intensity. Mistaking her anguish for drunkenness, he rebuked her sharply, unable to comprehend the depth of her grief. Hannah replied, her voice trembling, "I am not drunk, but pouring out my soul to the Lord." She explained her pain, hoping to be understood at last. Realizing his error, Eli's expression softened. He blessed her, saying, "Go in peace, and may God grant your request." His words offered comfort and a glimmer of hope. Hannah left with hope rekindled, her burden lighter than before. The encounter had changed something deep within her. Her prayer was not loud, but it reached heaven. In the quiet, her faith spoke volumes. In that sacred moment, faith triumphed over despair, and hope began to blossom where there had only been pain. Hannah's vow was a promise born of trust, offering her deepest longing back to God. She surrendered her future, believing that God heard her cry. The course of her life was about to shift forever as faith opened the door to a new beginning. Hannah returned home transformed, hope shining in her eyes. In time, God answered her prayer. She conceived and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, meaning heard by God, a living reminder of her answered prayer. The joy in her home replaced years of sorrow. Peninnah's taunts faded into silence. Hannah cherished every moment with her son, knowing he was a gift and a promise fulfilled. When Samuel was weaned, Hannah prepared to fulfill her vow. She told Elkanah, "After he is weaned, I will take him to the Lord, and he will live there always." Her resolve was unwavering, her faith unshakable. The time of sacrifice and surrender had come. The long-awaited day finally arrived for Hannah to return to Shiloh, the sacred place where her prayers had once risen with hope and longing. With Samuel's small hand nestled in hers, she walked the familiar path, her heart full of both joy and bittersweet resolve. Standing before Eli the priest, Hannah spoke with a voice steady from faith, "I am the woman who stood here years ago, praying for this child, and the Lord, in his kindness, granted my request, and gave me this son." With unwavering courage, she presented Samuel to serve God for all his days, fulfilling the promise she had made in her deepest hour of need. Now, Hannah's prayer was no longer a plea, but a song of praise and gratitude. celebrating God's power to lift the lowly, to answer the desperate, and to transform sorrow into joy. Her sacrifice was not a loss to be mourned, but an act of worship, a living testament to her faith and trust in God's goodness. God honored her trust. In time, Hannah was blessed with more children, her family growing as a sign of God's abundant grace. Each year she journeyed to visit Samuel, her heart swelling with pride and love, bringing him a robe she had lovingly made, a symbol of her care and devotion that reached across the distance. Through her faith and surrender, Hannah's story became a lasting legacy, one of trust, sacrifice, and blessing for generations to come. Sometimes the greatest miracles unfold when we open our hands, letting go of what we cherish most, and give our best back to God, trusting Him with our deepest hopes and dreams. In the quiet strength of her faith, Hannah changed the course of history, reminding us that true surrender brings forth unimaginable.
If you liked it, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other people who need to hear this story from Anna. And finally, activate the bell to receive more new content every week like this.